Privacy has been a very hot topic over the last couple of years, and rightfully so. There's been a lot of abuse of personal data. There's been a lot of accidents, and recent regulations around the world have really started to tighten that up and make sure companies are a bit more responsible with how they handle data. So one of the, I guess, most talked about and stringent regulations is GDPR. It's the privacy regulation in the European Union. Now, if you can make your solution conform to the GDPR, it's going to be fine in every other country. So, it can be a good target to aim for. Privacy regulation generally sets out rules around what data you collect, that you have to actually need that data, each bit of data that you collect, that it's well protected, that you give the user access to that data if they need it, that you delete that data if the user asks for it. So these are the kind of rules and things that you need to consider when developing an application to meet privacy regulations. Now, serverless can help with this. And again, like privacy regulation is not unique to serverless, but serverless has some benefits here. Again, the whole principle of least privilege, the ability to have exclusive access to a personal identity, personal information database that you can manage with a single microservice. These are all very, very good benefits. But if you also look at some of the services that cloud providers gives you to manage this, the fact that encryption is pretty much ubiquitous in the cloud. Like every service has encryption. Most of it enables it by default. And if not by default, it's very easy to enable. There's no reason not to encrypt stuff anymore. And services like Amazon's Cognito, where you can store user information and it protects that extremely well to the point where you can't even export passwords from that system. That's how locked down it is. And so that gives especially small companies just somewhere very safe that they can utilize to store this kind of information. And some other good practices, if you want to have users be able to easily request their data or delete that data and make it easier for you to access and do that, you want to keep personal information in a single location, so within a single service or a single protected database, and just keep that there. So you split your non-personal data from the personal data and keep the personal data all together somewhere where it can be readily deleted if you need to. And then the rest of the system uses the non-personal data to do things like your analytics and anything else that you need to do. Because with serverless, you're going to be very heavily using the fully managed cloud services that the cloud provider gives you. You should definitely be aware of how they treat data. Some of these services might actually capture your data and use it to maybe improve their service or further train it. So definitely be aware of these capabilities and how to prevent that from happening, and know how the services are using your data, because that could become a GDPR or a privacy conflict.